Okay, doing a real quick video here on a cardboard Moongate, I guess they're called, or a stone portal. But these are two images I found on the internet, and then I'm also showing you here a drawing that I did for scaling this, so I could actually put forth the work here. Okay, so I took my drawing and I scaled it to find out the height and length, and I came out with this thing's being basically 5 foot by 3 foot. Definition in our cardboard. The more definition we create, i.e. the joint between this should have some depth. The more of that we create in the cardboard to where it looks more realistic, the less mud we use. Thus, the less money, the less weight. All of the files of analysis then play better. So stick with me, guys. Here, this particular style of doing it is a little more defined in the cardboard so that we can obtain pop-in joints between the rocks with thinner amounts of mud that are more supercharged, that are hotter, that are stronger, so we can go thinner. On a shell like this, I would probably typically go about 3/8 of an inch coverage, where on the back right now is just segmented together with some screws. Once I get this other half that over here, and I'm going to start joining them together, and I'll show you as I go. Okay, so I kind of made a couple of changes. I put the brace in here just to keep this vertically plumb. It was kind of leaning. There was nothing yet supporting the top. And the interior brace will be good at any rate. Got all these to where I've got braces in between each to keep the width. And then I'm coming in here with this little detail, which is going to give me the continued crack up here on top. So I'm just... Well, one more right here, and I'll have the first 6 rocks complete. Pretty stout now, or rigid, enough for mudding. It's almost getting to the point where I'm using this little ladder to stand on, but you all aren't getting a good view of it. I still got more to do, but you can see that the rock's coming around there. Okay, so I got all the stones put in. The only thing I got to do is close up this inside here, because I haven't done that, but the top's all done. And I loosened it from the table so I could get access to that area. But I just got to put the other pieces in, like I said, as I've always done in cardboard. I try to get my cardboard to where it already has the definition, the detail, and I'm just coating it with about 3/8 of an inch. But right now, that's a cardboard creation, and that's another thing. People are going, oh, you're a cardboard king. I don't want to be the cardboard king. On my analytics on my channel, when I put up videos, I've got some sophisticated rock making stuff here, molds and real casted art. And cardboard's just one of my mediums, but it's the most popular videos that I put out. And so I've got to make cardboard. But people, there are a lot of ways to make. I've come up with 12 methods to making a bulk shape of rock. Then there are 13 methods of texturing. There are 12 methods of staining. There's a lot of ways to do something. This is only but one. Okay, let's take a closer look. Like I said, these two here, I brushed almost immediately, where these ones I'm letting sit for a little bit. You can see they're rougher, and the longer you let them dry, I mean, they'll work with a paintbrush. You can work up a cream and meld that surface together to where it doesn't look so choppy, but it'll look rougher than those two right there. But those are all starting to be good joints. The only thing I don't like right now is how smooth the inside of that is. And here in about an hour or so, I'll be cutting some of those or carving some of those, and then the next day I'm going to be chipping them with a hammer and a chisel just to get a difference. I don't want it all the same. Okay, I got the interior rocks all done with the exception of this one. I'm letting it sit just a little. I noticed it's starting to slump down a little bit, so I got to wait on that. I put the bonding agent on these 6 rocks. I'm going to do them and start doing this face, and then afterwards we're going to do the sides. So stick with me. Now this is a little different than the front. I was trying to throw it. The impact makes it stick better and gives it a texture by the throwing of the mud. And that's how I got that texture. Now I'm on the face, I'm kind of dropping it into it. I don't need a lot of mud here. Obviously I need some in the joints to give them better definition, but that's about it. Okay, so this morning I ground down all the edges, scraped it with a screwdriver in between the joints. I just washed it down, let that dry, and then I just put the bonding agent all over every surface that I'm going to hydro seal. I'm going to take an orange that I have diluted 6 parts of water to 1 part of the orange. I'm going to spray 30% of all the rocks. Okay, now I'm going to cover 30% with black, which is diluted 12 parts of water to 1 part of the stain or paint. Okay, so I just skimmed on with a paintbrush like this, where this is the surface of the rock. I don't want my paintbrush like this skimming. I want to parallel the surface and just rake across the highs. And I just did that with the Army Green, and you probably can't see a big difference between it. It's there and it's going to show. And I just didn't realize my camera wasn't on. Next, I'm going to skim a tan color on over the Army Green. So with our rocks right now, we started out with a gray cement. That's one color because 30% of it still, or 40% of it still shows. I 30% orange, 30% black. I skimmed on Army Green. I'm skimming on tan. That's 5 colors so far. Okay, so that's got the tan on now, and again, I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit, and then I'm gonna follow up now with just a speckling of gray. It's not that I'm trying to make speckles, but I start by inundating a little bit of gray speckles, trying to mute this horrible underlying colors, but yet still peering through the gray should be these colors. And there's coming to come a point, maybe it takes 2, 3 passes, maybe even 4, depends on how you're applying them, but you're gonna see the gray emerge and still see the underlying colors, and that's what gives it its randomization. Okay, now the speckling of gray, and the gray is 3 to 1. 3 waters to 1 paint. I use the cardboard to test my spray pattern. Okay, well, this morning I came down to seal this, and I was all finished with it yesterday, and I just don't like it. It's too light and it's too monotone. It's just got the same color every rock. And if you go out to the field and you pick up rocks in an area, they're going to be similar, but there's going to be some dissimilar ones in there too. So right now I'm going to add some what I call toner. These are more diluted stains than what we use to make this color, but we're going to augment some of the color. So I'm going to keep like
this rock, probably these two over here, and this one. I'm going to tape these, and I'm not going to touch. I'm going to leave them part of the original color. Okay, so those two on the bottom, those two up there, one, two over here, one there. We're going to leave those the original color. And then we're going to augment the other stuff. One's going to be orange, black, tan, and gray. We're going to augment these with some, basically some paintbrush. We can stain it with a gun, but I'm going to show you that here going forward. I'm getting ready to mix up some of the colors over there, which I thankfully didn't put away. Okay, so I mixed up a black that is 12 to 1 or 13 to 1. I can't remember which I did, but I'm basically just skimming on a little bit. Okay, this is still yet drying. It's going to lighten up a little bit more than what you see, but you can still see color underneath this translucent color, you know, and it's just going to augment, like you can see right here where I haven't done and where I've done. And where I've done, you can still see the underlying orange in this area right here. This is going to lighten up as it dries, but yet just off of the start here, we have some difference in the rock colors. And that's what I'm shooting for now, is just to give a little variance to the base color. Not change it dramatically. As I said, these two are going to lighten up. They're not going to lighten up as much as this, but they're going to be similar but dissimilar. That's what we're after.
Okay, now in this photo, you've got the 5 black rocks that I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're dry and they've lightened up a lot. Subsequent to that, I put another 5 rocks that are orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 5th one, which has a little bit of black on it too. Those are dry, and now I'm about to put on the tan.
Okay, now a tan that's 6 to 1, and I think it's a little bit bright, but that's okay. Well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's got it randomized enough. This black one is almost not even really that dark now that it's drying. Again, I think just letting these sit for a little bit to see their true result is always advantageous. Okay, so we finally got it in the landscape there. I've enjoyed the project. I hope you guys have too. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comment area or give me a call.